Hey everyone, today let's talk about one of India's timeless films, Panchali. Released in 1955 and directed by the legendary Satyajit Ray, this isn't just a film but a journey. Even 70 years after its release, people still rave about it as it's a beautiful reminder of our roots and the simplicity of life that we often forget in today's fast paced world. This was the first installment of the Oppu trilogy. Panchali depicts the childhood travels of the protagonist Oppu and his elder sister Durga amidst the harsh village life of their poor family. The story takes us into the life of a poor Bengali family struggling to make ends meet in rural India. It starts with Durga, a young girl who shares a special bond with her elderly Pisima Indir Thakur. Durga innocently steals fruits from a rich neighbor's garden, not out of greed, but to bring joy to her aging PC. However, her mother Sorbojaya faces the consequences as the wealthy neighbor lashes out at her. Sorbojaya scolds Durga, but Durga's love for her Pisima and her youthful innocence make her ignore the reprimands. The relationship between Sorbojaya and Indir Thakur is complex, much like the typical Nanad-Bhabi dynamic we often see in Indian household. While there is a tension between them, there is also a quiet underlying respect and empathy. Their bond, like in real life, shifts with circumstances and hardships. A brilliant portrayal of human relationship by Satyajit Ray. Now let's talk about Harihar, the father of Durga and Oppu. He's a writer but works for other people, constantly struggling to provide for his family. His income isn't enough to fix their crumbling house, much to Sorbojaya's frustration. She repeatedly urges him to find another job, especially since he hasn't been paid for 3 months in his current job. But Harihar is a dreamer, convinced that one day his writings will be famous and all their problems will be solved. This hope, despite everything, is what keeps him going. Through these moments, we witness the essence of Durga and Oppu's childhood, a time filled with innocence, sibling rivalry, and the small but profound joys of growing up. Their bond is playful yet deeply affectionate as they tease each other and explore their world together. This is where Satyajit Ray's brilliance truly shines. He portrays childhood with such authenticity that it feels utterly real. Whether it's a children's carefree picnic in the nearby forest, their eager longing towards the bicycle, or the sadness in their eyes when they are denied money to buy a treat from Feriwala. Every frame feels lived in, not acted. One of the most poignant scenes is when they run after the Feriwala, their youthful excitement clashing with the quiet disappointment of being unable to buy anything. And then, of course, there is the sheer joy of racing off to watch a distant train passing by, a moment that, though simple, holds the weight of childhood wonder. These beautifully crafted scenes take us back to a simpler time, far removed from the distraction and the complexity of today's world. Ray masterfully captures the purity of these moments, reminding us of a time when the smallest things brought the greatest joy. Then, there is a turning point when Harihar leaves for work in Bishnupur. Initially, he sends a letter, but months go by with no news from him. Meanwhile, Shorbojaya does everything she can to provide for her children, even selling household items to make ends meet. Her pride, however, stops her from accepting help from their kind neighbors. This highlights the family's dignity and resilience despite their struggles. Then comes one of the film's most heart-wrenching moments. During a heavy rainstorm, Durga falls seriously ill after dancing joyfully in the rain. It's almost symbolic. She found freedom and happiness in the rain, but that joy was short-lived. Durga tells Apu they will go see the train again once she recovers, but sadly, that never happens. The next morning, after a terrible storm, the family not only loses their house, but also Durga. Harihar returns home, unaware of the tragedy that had struck to his family. He arrives with gifts for everyone, but when he asks about Durga, Sorboja breaks down, and the realization of their loss hits him. The grief is overwhelming, and soon after, the family decides to leave their village and head to Varanasi in search of a new beginning. In the end, we see a snake slithering into the house that is now abandoned. And the film ends here. Satyajit Ray's portrayal of these emotions is simply masterful. The way he captures the struggles of a family, the tensions between relationships, and the innocence of childhood is nothing short of genius. Every scene feels like you are living through the characters' lives. The film's simplicity is what makes it so powerful. Harihar's constant hope, Shorbuja's resilience, and the love between Durga and Oppu. All these elements combine to show us that even in the darkest times, what holds a family together is love. It's a core value in Indian culture, one that transcends with time and hardships. Pother Panchali is a film that even after all these years still resonates deeply. It reminds us of the importance of family, of holding on to the things that truly matter. Satyajit Ray's vision brought out the raw emotions of these characters in a way that few filmmakers ever could. This movie was an adaptation of a Bengali novel written by Bibhutibhushan Bandyopadhyay that goes with the same name. It marked the debut of Satyajit Ray as a director, and what a masterpiece he created. We must not forget the raw acting of the whole cast. Some of the artists were not even professional, yet made us feel like everything was real. The movie is based on realism and it is beautifully portrayed by its actors. So, if you haven't watched Pother Panchali yet, I highly recommend you to. It's not just a movie, it's an experience that will leave you thinking about life, family, and the simple joys that we often overlook in our fast-paced lives. So yeah, that's it for today, and do let me know in the comment section what you felt during watching this masterpiece. Take care, bye bye.